Lesson 2. Battling Fake News. A Critical Mindset. Fake news can be defined as news containing false or misleading information that appears truthful. Although fake news has long been in existence, and this issue is as old as the news industry itself, the internet and social media have made creating and sharing fake news easier and faster than ever. Consequently, people may be deceived by fake news, believing the content to be genuine without questioning the sources. With so much fake news being spread every day, it is now more important than ever to understand where such news comes from and to question the news stories we read.
Although fake news comes in many forms, two are the most common. First, fake news can come from sloppy journalism, which means that journalists write stories based on unreliable information or without fact-checking their sources prior to publication. Second, some news contains deliberately false information to achieve social or political results. Examples include attempts to influence people to vote for a certain candidate or support a particular cause.
The following two examples illustrate the harm fake news can cause. The first highlights the potential long-lasting consequences of false information. In 1998, a British researcher published a small-scale study in a respected medical journal, and it linked the MMR vaccine to autism. The media provided extensive coverage of this flawed study. As a result, the belief that the MMR vaccine could cause autism became widespread. Some people's confidence in the vaccine was shattered, and vaccination rates dropped. However, subsequent studies with larger samples revealed different results, and the original study was eventually proved inaccurate. Even so, for years after, misleading details from the original study were still being reported. Some parents exposed to these inaccurate reports refused to vaccinate their children for fear that it might do more harm than good. More than 2 decades have now passed since the original study was published, but its effects can still be observed worldwide.
The second example illustrates how companies manipulate the news for their own advantage. On February 23, 2018, a major hypermarket in Taiwan sent an email to several media outlets exaggerating an upcoming increase in the price of toilet paper. It was later found that the retailer's true intention in doing so was merely to advertise its own toilet paper promotion. But by noon that day, the damage had already been done. 2 mainstream media outlets reported on the imminent price hike without fact-checking, and others soon followed suit. The reporting prompted a wave of panic buying among Taiwanese people, many of whom feared that if they didn't stock up, they would run out of the precious daily necessity. Even manufacturers were negatively impacted, as their factories had to work overtime to handle the sudden increase in demand.
With such significant events in mind, we are reminded that we must resist fake news. Whenever we come across new information, it is important to evaluate its validity, lest we be tricked into mistaking fake news for the truth. One notable feature of authentic news is the inclusion of the writer's name, which enables readers to view that writer's biography and verify his or her credibility. Another characteristic of real news is the citing of multiple primary sources, which demonstrates a high level of authenticity. Still, another feature to look for is where the article has been published, which can indicate its reliability. If it has been published by a respected media platform, such as the BBC or CNN, it is likely reliable. Last but not least, a clear sign of a factual report is objective writing that does not appeal to readers' emotions or use deliberately provocative language. These features can help us avoid falling for fake news so that we can see the world accurately.
In the current age of news overload, we must all watch out for fake news, lest we fall victim to it. Useful strategies are to think critically about what we are reading and to conduct further research on news stories to check their content before accepting them as truth. With due diligence, we can win the war against fake news and help improve society.